yourself.
I can't get hold of myself. I gotta have dope. I'm a hophead. I'd sell my soul for just one shot.
Hello, and thanks for joining me again in my dark corner of this sick world. The horror this week isn't some ancient evil or supernatural monster. It's not a psychopath or some alien terror. It's a man-made evil. The Cocaine Fiends was made in 1935 and was not that high budget to start with, so the quality of the image is quite ropey, which means that it can be difficult to tell some of the characters apart, especially when they all dress the same. Its age also means that some of the lines have an unintentional double entendre.
You packing around?
No.
Nothing funny about that. And some of the other lines have lost whatever meaning they ever had.
I'm going to take you on a sleigh ride with some snowbirds.
This is a message film showing the audience how decent, hard-working folk like Jane Bradford here can be suckered into cocaine addiction by a cunning dealer with a foolproof scam.
What's the matter? Got a headache? I got the grandest headache medicine in the world. Here.
Well, how do you take it? In water?
No. Let me show you. Give me a... Yeah.
Yep, nothing ringing any alarm bells here, just one of the many over-the-counter headache medications administered nasally.
Why, that's marvelous. I feel better already.
I'll check the statistics, but I think the percentage of long-term cocaine addicts who got hooked via the spurious headache cure route is comparatively small.
Here, take one of these headache powders, and everything will look brighter.
Side effects of cocaine may include nausea, vomiting, and impromptu marriage.
I feel swell now.
With Jane in his thrall, drug pusher Nick wastes no time in organising a city wedding.
But Nick, this can't be the place.
Oh, no, you're just staying with friends of mine until we get set. We can't go to a first-class hotel until we're married. You know that.
Sex before marriage? I mean, pushing drugs to kids is one thing, but really? Nick works for a shadowy figure called...
That was the big boss.
Imaginative. Only now does the truth become clear to Jane.
You mean I've been taking dope?
Although it would explain a lot.
Cocaine.
Now, I know what you're thinking. The cocaine isn't the only dope in this film. And yes, it is hard to feel sorry for Jane. But you've got to feel sorry for her poor old mother, if only because her postman is a bastard.
Any mail for me today?
No, Miss Bradford. I'm sorry.
I just stopped to rub your face in it. Psych! Fortunately, Mother Bradford also has a son, Eddie, and he's the smart one.
So if you have one of those headache powders.
This whole family is as dumb as wood. Speaking of wood...
Well, how do you feel now?
Great.
And you want to make whoopee tonight?
Side effects of cocaine also include whoopee making.
Well.
Attaboy.
And some swelling. This is starting to seem like the story of two... let's call them naive. Actually, no, let's call them idiots who get dragged into the world of illegal narcotics.
I don't know why I did it.
But that was apparently a bit simple for an hour-long film, and other plot lines start creeping in when Eddie and his girlfriend go to a nightclub. Nightclubs have also changed a bit in the last 75 years. But microphones have been invented, what the hell? Here they meet Dorothy,
I just like to play around, but I'm all right.
a spoilt little rich girl in search of kicks.
Why, yes, you big, bad, dangerous man.
And apparently the new lead character.
I don't know why.
Me neither. She has a showdown with her domineering father, who doesn't like what his daughter is turning into.
Haven't you any pride or decency left? You used to be sweet and clean.
Now you're a filthy whore.
Maybe you're right, but stay away from the dead rat.
That's just good advice. Actually, the Dead Rat is a nightclub, but this is a low, underworld nightclub.
Hello, everybody.
With the black tie dress code. But it does play loud music.
Mongolay, my dear.
Holy hell, cocaine would probably improve this. Back in Hicksville, Mother Bradford is now waiting for a letter from her son as well.
No letters for me today, Jim?
I'm sorry, Miss Bradford. Maybe he's figuring on walking in and surprising you someday.
Oh, sure, get her hopes up. Screw drugs, this film is teaching me about the evils of US postmen.
Yeah, there she is, waiting for me.
And there's a reason. Eddie has lost his job and now he's shacked up with Fanny. It's her name.
You get fired, Fanny?
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah.
And they're living in sin.
Someday I'll make this all up to you.
Oops, sorry. Happens to every man, and when you think about it, it's a compliment. Side effects of cocaine may also include premature boiling over. The couple struggle to make ends meet because all of their money goes to feed Eddie's habit.
But he can't work, Mrs. Grady. He's sick.
Fanny's an addict too, but she's not a big girl's blouse about it. She takes a more practical view and becomes a hooker to get money. And between that and their unprotected kettle boiling...
No, it can't be. It mustn't be.
Okay, I think she's pregnant. On a lighter note, Dorothy goes against her father's advice and visits the dead rat.
All I want is you.
I bet she wishes she'd listened to her father now. Nick spots her and thinks she'd make an ideal mole for the big boss.
I'm gonna give it to him as bait.
So he kidnaps her.
Dorothy, it's not run away!
And things at the dead rat really start to kick off.
Now let everybody dance. Take it away, Al.
Everybody dance now! Let's go!
No, not really. Meanwhile, Jane, remember her? Used to be the lead character? No? No, well. She tracks down her brother at an opium den. This Chinaman is reversing. This Chinaman is reversing.
Oh, but what are you doing here? The city.
I came to find you and take you home.
Well, you're doing a bang-up job. Jane is beyond saving. I'm not sure why.
Now it's too late for me. Girls can't come back.
Oh, well, that explains it. But she still wants to help her brother.
Come on now, you go home and wait for me.
Did I mention my pregnant girlfriend?
And there she lay, just as she is now.
Oh, never mind. But how will Jane get the money to get her brother home?
You say you need money? All right, I'll give you money. $1,000 if you'll get me out of here. Give me the police. They'll come to 76 Byron Street, quick. It's life or death.
You couldn't have done that an hour ago. But that still leaves Nick.
That's the big chief. Thought that gonna get out of here before he gets here.
Stop, Nick! I swear I'll kill you!
That's America for you. And what about the big boss?
Your father's the mysterious big shot and brains behind all this rotten mess of racket.
What a shock!
You lie, Dan. I know that isn't true.
It turns out to be a character we've barely seen.
Then it is true. You are a racketeer.
Where did you think the money was coming from? That you and your mother have been throwing away?
So when you think about it, it's all your fault.
So you've been making love to me all this time, just so you could spy on my father.
If it helps, it wasn't all bad. I feel like I'm supposed to recognize this undercover cop, but I just don't.
If I don't scold you, will you promise me one thing?
What?
That you'll stop this questing?
I don't need to go questing anymore. I've found my prince.
Women, stay at home, wash dishes, aspire to nothing. What happened to Jane and Eddie?
There isn't any more Jane.
I'm not kidding, that's how the film leaves it. And here's the thing, between Jane and Eddie and Fanny and Dorothy and Nick and the big boss and the mother and the evil postman and the undercover cop, there's quite a lot going on, which is fine, as long as you know who your protagonist is.
It is hard to figure out.
It looks like it's Jane. We start with Jane. But she has no real impact until the end. Eddie dominates in the midsection, but does nothing.
Gosh, you are dumb.
He's a wholly passive character who runs his girlfriend into the ground and is impossible to care about.
You love me, don't you?
No, I never really loved you.
Finally, there's Dorothy, who doesn't seem like the lead. She doesn't even have a cocaine habit.
They wouldn't dare do that to me.
But it's her father who turns out to be the big boss, her who gets the guy, and her we end on, so Who knows?
What's it all about?
On top of that, we have another problem, which you may have spotted. This is a film about the evils of taking cocaine in which no one takes cocaine. This is as close as we get. There's a reason for this. In 1931, the Hays Code standardized censorship in Hollywood with a very specific list of things you could not show. So, even in an anti-drugs film, you cannot show people taking drugs, nor can you show people getting it on.
I can't stay here. We're not married.
You can't even mention pregnancy outside of marriage or prostitution. And if your film is about sex, drugs, and surprisingly formal jazz, then that's a big problem. Now, I'm not saying that if the code hadn't stuck its nose in, then the film would have been great. I'm pretty sure it still would have been crap. But at least it would have been the film that it set out to be. As it is, it's a film about nothing. Every subject it touches, it can't address.
I've got something that'll fix that up. Come here.
In many ways, it was a really dumb idea for a film.